Hello and welcome back to Castlebridge Model Railway. The last time I did a video was video number 47, and that was about 3 years ago, and that was called the Abandoned Line Scenery Part 1. So in the last 3 years, apart from having a cataract and a new hip, brilliant operation, lots of family things going on, which you could put your family first. I'm now starting to redo the scenery for that corner with the abandoned line in it. So next one will be part 2, and I must thank all the new subscribers that have happened in the last 3 years, and I hope you all enjoy what's coming up next. My task is going to get this corner finished here. It's got to have lots of vegetation on it, etc. And this is possibly the thing nobody will ever see anymore. This is my disused railway track that they couldn't afford to demolish the bridge, so it's just been left as it is. And of course you can see that the entrance to the tunnel has been boarded up. I've got a few rocks in place, and trees will go in between there. This used to be painted brown, and then I saw on YouTube, because I thought brown earth's going to be wood and stuff like that, on YouTube somebody painted their base green. So I mixed some green and brown together, just the normal cheap old paints, and painted all that area. So that's given me a little bit of a start. So I got carried away yesterday without filming, because I decided I was going to try and put some vegetation in, which I haven't done for a long time. So that's how I have started. Basically it's bits and pieces out of bags, and I've used PVC, no, not PVC, I forget what it's called, I'll tell you in a minute. The white stuff anyway, you know what it's called. And put that in and push the stuff in place, and then I sprayed it when it was set with cheap old sticky hairspray, in the hope that it's going to keep everything in one place. So have another look at that angle, which is difficult for me to see, but as you come through, etc. So this is what's going to happen. I'll just explain all the trees in a minute. So my first job is to put some ground cover down before I fill it with trees and stuff like that. And I'll just show you the selection that I've found in my boxes that I've had for quite a few years, and then you can see what I'm going to try and achieve. So here's the selection. So this first one is Hornby. This is more like a fabric that you can put over trees. It's got almost, if you imagine it as a type of netting, then that can go over a tree and give you an effect. Just to tell you how old that was £3.99. Not sure how old it is now. Now this next one, I'm afraid it's a nice packet of stuff I've got, and I haven't got a clue what the name was, but this type, it feels sort of rubbery in a funny sort of way, and you can rip it and turn it, and that's what I put in that corner down there. So the next one is a Jarvis product. It's called Mid-Green Hedge Foliage. Now this is sort of slightly clumpy, and this again I used a bit of it while I was doing the edges down there, so that being glued into various places would get a nice effect. Then we move on to Woodland Scenics. This is called Underbrush Forest Blend. Now this is softer, a lot softer, and very small and fibrous. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but we'll find out as we go and do the stuff. And then the last one I've got is a Woodland Scenic again. This is called Clump Foliage. Now this is very similar clump foliage to the Jarvis one. Now the Jarvis one is firmer and more, has more what I call guts to it. It's more stronger. This one is less so, but everything you've got is going to fit the pattern, is going to fill somewhere, and then that's what I'm going to do. So I'm now going to go and do a little bit of rehearsal, and then I'll come back and see what I can actually do with this lovely collection. I'm going to do the bits on the lower areas first. So just down here, look at that, what a mess. So we'll do that just down there, and little bits in there. Bits around there. There's a young chap on YouTube, Gormo. He comes from Sydney, Australia. Got his own beautiful railway set up, Chesterfield Junction. And he, I copied this idea from him. Basically, we've got a coffee grinder, and this is how we make our own flock. So there we have the coffee grinder. We start with the coffee grinder, and now we get some sort of basic flock. Now what we're using is carpet underlay. So this is the carpet underlay. I went to our local carpet shop, thank you very much to them, and said I'm doing a model railway, have you got any offcuts of your cheap foam underlay? And so they came out with a nice chunk, which I've cut down into little squares, and so this is what we use. Rip both the sides off, and now we're going to tear off bits and pieces, and we're just going to put bits into the coffee grinder, not too big. Okay, so you put it into sort of, I don't know how much really. It's a case you had to feel for yourself. I mean, I'm doing this one possibly, what are we talking about? I'm almost getting up to the rim inside, if you very basically like that. And we start with that, and then on we go, and I just hope the power's on. Now, just a short spurt, you can see it's now in quite large chunks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to put the first colour on. Now, these colours are your basic normal sort of railway colours, if you like. They're called Deco Art, Crafters Acrylics. So I'm just going to put a couple of drops into this. Okay, let's see what that makes. And now, so we go on the light on again. You don't need a lot. We've tanned it down slightly. Let's put some more in. Another 3 slightly larger dollops. Okay, so we're now down to that sort of coloration. The longer you do your buzzing, shall we say, the smaller the bits get. So if you don't want it to get that small, you've got to have your colour quite intense to start off with. But this is just a light tan. And there we have what you would call a sort of tan effect. Then I'm going to just tip down here. So we can see them later. Now the next one I'm going to do green now. And I'm going to not have the bits too small. I'm going to have them slightly larger. This is going to take more zooming. Okay, so now I'm going to start off by putting the green in. This is the one almost empty. So, whoops, all over my fingers, typical. That's messy, isn't it? Look at that. Kitchen roll. Very handy. Every model railway should have some. So let's see how this goes. You want green? There's green. So that's that type of green. Now I do know that if I added a little bit of what I'm calling brown to it, and it hasn't got to be a lot. It's darkened it down from what it was. So if we do okay, so day 2. As you can see, I've done some more overnight. I'm not 100% like it. It was very difficult to apply. I thought a lot of it was going to fall off. I must admit I'm quite happy that I put hairspray on it, and the hairspray seems to have stuck sort of 90% of it where I wanted it to go. So basically, as a start, before we put trees and bushes in, it's going to be okay. I wasn't very happy with the clump foliage from Woodland Scenic. That's either because I'm doing it the wrong way, I'm using it in the wrong application, or I've got old PVA. I just don't know. I didn't find it very easy to use, I'll be honest. So let's just plough on with a few more bits. One of the areas I'm going to have a problem with is around here, because all of this is on rock face, so there's no room for sort of big trees. Get small bushes in and stuff like that. But if you look at this area, this is cut out of rock, so no roots are going to go in there. So what I aim to do is to use something I made up myself, which is a homemade flock. So here we go, live, no rehearsals. How can you rehearse something like this? So PVA on, just see how we get on with this. I just hope it does work in a way, because that would solve quite a few little problems. It's okay building these hills, but if you can't put a root down for a tree, you're stuck. But let's see if I can alleviate this and do this a little differently. Okay, here we go. Gentle does it, not too much pressure, just enough to try and make it stay. The other thing I have in my arsenal is an extremely old vacuum cleaner that has a little slider on it to reduce the power of the suck, so to speak. and that is really handy for putting a sock over it, or a pair of tights or whatever, and sucking up all the debris that hasn't stuck. I'm beginning to like this at the moment. I'm thinking this is, oh, too much. I'm thinking this is possibly going to work. I must admit, I think I'm amazed, because I've never ever tried this before. I've never done a hill before, so I'm only going on what people have put on YouTube before me, and they have shown me the way, if you know what I mean. And with everything on YouTube, you do what you can, take what they have done, adapt it to your own needs, and so the hobby develops and grows and grows and grows, and more people get better ideas and do things to match their own layout, which is good. If ever you go onto YouTube and you can find a chap called Gormo, he lives in Sydney, Australia. He is well worth linking into. He is brilliant. His bits and pieces that he does. In fact, this coffee grinder, where I did all of this with the underlay, it's his idea,